Gerry, let's talk about something that's close to our hearts, and indeed close to a lot of people's hearts at the moment, is security.
Yes.
Because so many people now with obviously, theft.
Exactly. And you're always like, when the time changes and we go into the winter months, you know, there's a lot more darkness, and particularly people who are living alone or in isolated areas, and you hear, unfortunately, about sometimes an upturn in crime at this time of the year as well. So people's attention turn to their own personal security, the security of their house, their farmyard, etc. That's where the attention turns to. So for a couple of minutes today, we're going to, because modern technology, of course, has allowed so many new ways of protecting your home. So we have with us Jason Mills, and Jason wins us from Power Race in Sligo, and we said we would talk to you, Jason, steer us in the right direction in relation to home security and security of our property. So so many things have happened in the last couple of years that allow better protection of your home, maybe a lot of things we don't even know about.
Absolutely, Paul. Paul, good afternoon to you, Gerry, and your
Jason,
listeners of Midwest. How are you doing? I suppose I'm a security advisor in Powerite for the last 12 years. We're 35 years trading in Sligo in all aspects of security. You're right in what you're saying, Paul. Security is got a lot more easier to fit. We fit a lot of wire-free systems when it comes to intruder alarms. So where you'd walk into a system and a lot of people say, we've the house done up, we don't want to mess.
This is the thing.
What we can do is we can fit wire-free systems.
Go ahead.
They're all battery operated. The batteries last about 2 or 3 years, and then we also run a service contract where we just service and maintain the alarms after we fit them. You can have a panic button that you can press for the Gardaí that would alert the guards. We can have it monitored through a monitoring central station.
What does that mean, a monitoring central station?
A monitoring central station is that where if your alarm goes off, it dials out to a monitoring station, and the monitoring station then will contact the appropriate people, which might be your key holder, or if you press a panic button, it could be the guards.
Very good.
And they will come and check your premises because they'll have all your details up in the computer.
So will you paint a picture for us now? For example, we have somebody listening to this that might be in the autumn of their life. They're living on their own. It's a pretty isolated area. They're pretty worried coming into the winter, and they want to feel more secure. You go out to their property and you survey what has to be done. Paint the picture for what you'll do.
What I do, Gerry, we get a call to Powerite Security either through online. Sometimes we get it through Facebook. Sometimes we get it through the phone number. I can go through the contact numbers in a few minutes. But normally what we do is we take it from farm to fork. Everybody is different. Everybody has different needs. You might have somebody that's living alone. You might have a busy household where there's 7 in the family, but nobody's at home for most part of the day. What I normally do is I would take their details, ask them a couple of key questions, maybe get their ear code, call out to the house, and normally people are really open at that stage. They might stick on the kettle, put on a cup of tea, walk you around the house and say, listen, this is what I want. You listen to the customer, and then you might give your own opinions of what you think. Just with your security experience, you might tell them the areas, and a lot of the areas as well where break-ins happen. And you might explain that to them. And then you might go for a wire-free system. Sometimes the houses might be pre-wired with the wires are in place already from an electrician when it was built. And you might put in you might cover the house with a keypad, window sensors, door contacts, and beams. It depends on what suits the customers. Basically what you can have is, Gerry, you can have an alarm fitted. People can set it when they're away from the house during the day. They can also set it when they're in bed at night. Good few break-ins happen when...
That's very true.
So you're in bed at night, you can set the alarm.
You can set the alarm. You can actually set it from your bed head.
You can set it from your bed.
If we do windows on the perimeter, you can walk around the house and you can go in and out and use the bathroom. You can go in and out and make a cup of tea if you're light sleeping, get back into the bed, and you still have security on. So you can have it day and night. You can have
even when you're in the house.
When you're in the house, you can have the alarm set.
And is this a total house package you're talking about now, or is it for specific rooms in the house?
No, you can have it for bedrooms. You can have it. You can do. Normally, when I go into a house, the first thing I say is alarm your doors. And then depending if people are coming and going and there may be a young family, you might put in a few beams. A beam is where you put a beam into a corner of a room, and if an intruder comes in front of it, it sets off the alarm. And we normally would have 2 bells within a house. You'd have an internal bell that alarms in the house, and you'd have an external bell. The new external bell is lovely because it has the LED lights on it. And any burglar or what they're sold, when they see that, it does put them off. It's a huge factor.
Because they're watching for all of these things when they're staking out, aren't they?
They don't want the alarm going off, Gerry. What they want is they want to be able to get to the house that's handy, where it's easier to break in, where there's going to be less noise, less disruption. And when they see an alarm on it, like we've often talked to Gerry, they're maybe at a break-in that we've been at, and 9 out of 10 times houses that are broken into have no alarms.
Wow. Now, you talked about the difference between monitored and unmonitored. Will you explain that to us, Jason?
Well, a monitored alarm system is where it goes to an ARC station. They call it ARC short for the monitoring station, and that's fully accredited, and it's also covered. You get a deduction on your house insurance when you have a monitored alarm, a fully monitored alarm. It's where it's going to the monitoring station, and when the alarm goes off, they see it coming up on the screen, and they're able to contact a key holder that you've chosen, or if it's a panic button, they'll be able to call the Gardaí and send them to your house. An unmonitored alarm is where the alarm just sits there, and if it goes off, it's just a bell ringing.
Yeah, okay.
And that's not really supposed to happen, because due to noise pollution and the standards that's out there, any alarm system that's fitted out there, you should have monitoring on it.
Okay. Right. Is there much difference, without going into the figures of it, is there much difference in the cost of these things?
There is an ongoing service charge and an ongoing monitoring charge. It's to pay for the fees, to pay for the services that are provided. There is, yeah. And
that goes 24/7?
24/7, you're monitored 24/7 a day. Within Poweride in Sligo, I mean, we're 35 years trading. We have guys on 24 hours a day.
Right.
They're obviously on shift work, but we're on 24 hours a day. We've been doing that back as far as the early 90s.
Yeah.
We're trading since 1982.
If I wanted an idea, for example, if I wanted you to come out to my house now, I'd call you up and say, Jason, will you come out and have a look at the house? So you survey the house. You'd say, look, I think you should need this, and you need this, and you need this, and you give them a cost. So you can kind of give them a quote.
What I do is when I go out there, I give them a quote. Now, it's not only Paul intruder alarm. We also quote for CCTV. CCTV is a big thing.
I'm going to come to that, yeah.
Well, okay, so we'll talk about intruder alarm for a second. I come out, take a look at what you need. Right there and then I can give you a live demo on the intruder alarm, whether it's wire-free or wired, and I can give you a quote. When I'm actually in there, I could be in there 10 minutes and already the customer is using the alarm from my demo box.
Right.
Where they can... They can use a key fob. I can get them to set the alarm, unset it, and already they're kind of familiar and feeling, okay, this is what it's going to be like when I get the alarm. Right. When we leave them and when we fit the alarm, we give them peace of mind. I'm able to give them a quote there and then, let them know how much it is. And again, Poweride has always done this. We've always given a discount, whether a person is living alone, whether they have a disablement. Right. We always try and
tell me this
kind
now,
of give them a discount as well for that.
Will there be any chance with the insurance company, if you tell them, look, I have either CCTV camera or I have a security system in, will you get a discount on your insurance?
You do get a discount. I was only chatting to an insurance broker yesterday before I knew I was coming in here, just to get a feel of it. And every insurance broker does give a discount. It varies.
Depending on the company.
Okay. But they do give you a discount, and I do hear customers telling me that yes, they've got a discount.
Now tell me about CCTV cameras, and also I'm interested in the night vision cameras. Yeah. So these cameras can see at night.
Yeah, all cameras can see at night. They all have night vision. They all have infrared on them, and all the cameras now are Turbo HD, which they're very, very good quality. We have them going back to a DVR recorder, and the DVR recorder has a built-in hard drive that has no tapes. There's no rewinding, Gerry. Right. It just records 24/7.
And is that in the person's own house, Jason, or does it go back to your company, to a storage facility in your company?
No, we have it going locally to their own storage. It's just like a Skybox, just like a DVD player. Right. It just records 24/7. You can have anywhere from 4 cameras to 8 cameras to 16 cameras, and they're all recording at night. They've got HD quality, and also what you can do is if you have broadband in the house, you can put it onto your phone and view it on your phone. So you can actually view it remotely when you're out.
And what kind of storage time do you have on that recording?
You can have anywhere from a month. A basic recording time is about a month's recording, but we can fit a bigger hard drive, and you can have anywhere up to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months.
Okay. Again, depending on what you want.
Depending on what you require.
Well, you hit personal security as well, because you did mention that in the introduction. That's a big thing. Again, for elderly people living on their own, the personal security.
Absolutely. Like we fit, like I said to you, going back to, we fit a personal panic button that they can have, that they can bring around with them. We also fit medical pendants. And people wonder, what are medical pendants?
Yeah, exactly. What's the difference?
What is that? Well, the difference there is that a medical pendant, you can get it in a wristwatch format, or you can get it as a pendant or a clip-on. And when that is pressed, that can go directly through to the monitoring station. They see it as a medical, and they can have it going directly, calling family members. And it might be a family member, when they get that medical call from the monitoring station, okay, mum or dad or a family member, I know where maybe medication are. I know what I need to do. I know I need to get to the house faster, get to a doctor. It's all leaving the customer with a peace of mind. Intruder alarms are gone massively from just keeping away the intruder. They're also about health and safety within the house as well.
Yeah. Now, the medical one that you mentioned, does that have to be activated by the person, or has it the technology available to activate itself?
Gerry, technology is moving all the time. It's moving fast. There is a lot of gadgets that are coming out at the moment. The one that we provide now is brilliant. It's fully waterproof. It goes around your wrist. Yes, you do need to press it.
Right.
You'd give it a press. It very lightly hold it for a couple of seconds. That's all you need to do, and the rest goes away. Then the monitoring station is able to see that, call in, dial family members, and key holders are on response right away.
And that medical monitor now, will that just work around the environs of the person's house, or if they're down the road visiting their neighbour, or gone to town shopping, or away in Dublin to see a family member, will it work when they're away from the house?
Normally the one that we fit works within the perimeter of the house, but I'm glad you asked that, because we have fitted, and we have them out there, we have fitted what's called 3G panic button devices or medical devices, where actually they can bring it around.
Yeah.
And anywhere there is network, you also have network to the monitoring station.
Yes.
Right.
Definitely. And that might be somebody that maybe suffering with Alzheimer's.
That could
family
be.
member wants to keep an eye on them.
Yeah.
There's various things. As I said, they're moving all the time, and we move all the time with the technology as well. Right. Within Power.
Have you got a phone number that if people want, for example, if I want you to call out of the house to me to give me a quote and let me know the services that you offer, have you got a phone number?
We do, Paul. We have a number here. Glennon is like,
yeah.
If you have a pen there, you can take it down.
Yeah.
So it's 071 91 45107
45107.
We also have a 1-800 number, Paul.
Yeah, 1-800.
We have 1-800
Yeah.
938
881
881. So we're on Facebook also.
Right.
Power Fire and Security. We get an awful lot of traffic across our Facebook page. Power Fire and Security. And we also have a website, www.power8alarms.com.
Right.
And a list of our services are in it.
And Jason, if somebody gets to do the business with you and says, yes, we like your package, we want to buy your package, who fits the package? Do you provide people to do that?
We do. All our staff is in-house in Power8. We have 22 staff in Power8. We have fully trained engineers. We've about 11 or 12 vehicles, vans out there.
Right.
They're all fully trained to the highest standard and licensed under the PSA, the Private Security, which is licensed security for security in Ireland.
And if you have a security system, do you keep it switched on all the time? Obviously you would.
You can have your alarm on when you're out at the house, and when you're in the house you can unset it and you can set it again, Paul, and have it alarmed when you're...
Because listener said that the insurance companies would give you a discount, but you have to have the alarm on at the time. So obviously with an alarm you'd have to have it on at the time, would you?
You would have it on. Yeah. It makes common sense, and I suppose it would guide you down the line of having it set when you're out.
Yeah. So your people will fit product?
Our guys, Power8 guys, they're fully trained. They go out and fit. We get great feedback saying that they're very professional, very clean, very neat and tidy, because when you're in somebody's house, you have to keep it clean and tidy. We even carry our own hoovers to hoover up after we're done, Gerry.
Well, now
and we make sure that everything is spotless.
You get it ready for the stations.
We get it ready.
Spick and span.
Ready. Exactly, Gerry.
And of course, just the fire and emergency lighting as well. That's all part of the service as well. Obviously, that's very important, particularly for not any age group.
Well, we talked about the domestic customer there, Paul, and we do an awful lot of commercial premises as well, Gerry. What we do is we do fire and emergency lighting, again intruder alarm, electric gates, we do CCTV. If we're talking about the fire and emergency lighting, we're governed. We also service and maintain fire and emergency lighting under the IS 321817 standard that's set out across Ireland. And what we do is we do install fire and emergency lightings for pubs, schools, business premises, clubs, restaurants, B&Bs.
So when it comes to fire and security, you're a one-stop shop, really.
We cover an awful lot of ground.
Yeah.
Just in relation to a couple of questions from listeners, are there any grants available for security systems that you know of? Anything in relation, for example, when they have a panic alarm or any grants available for security systems?
There is. Any place where you're dealing with a commercial premise, especially when you're dealing with, say, schools and clubs and community halls, they have gone and got granting for CCTV and fire alarms. We're actually working on a few projects at the moment that came from granting.
What about individual homes?
Individual homes, not as far as I'm aware.
Okay.
But that is why we've always set out on Power8 to give our own discount
Right.
To people that are living alone, people that are vulnerable, people that need help. We try and do our best to give as much discount as we can to that customer, and it varies from house to house.
Fair enough.
Yeah, listen, as we said, Jason, it's great that there's so many new developments that are making it
It's a peace of mind.
You wouldn't need a mortgage now to
You wouldn't need a mortgage.
You get what you...
We've got great deals at the moment. We've a deal on at the moment till the end of October for $799 plus the VAT for an alarm install.
For what?
For an intruder alarm install, and $799 for a CCTV install. So we are always looking at price. We are trying to be working with people's budgets.
And tell me, what are those packages now that people might take from you? And for once, as they say, it's signed along the dotted line. How long then will it take you guys to get that up and running in the house?
Normally what we do is we're working off a timeline of about 7 to 10 working days.
Right.
Okay. And what we do is we just take a deposit off the customer of 50% of the job. You can do that across laser, you can do it a cash or check, you get a receipt out. Everything else is done from us. The next thing you get is a call from our engineers to come out and fit. We come out and fit, hand it over, do a great handover, and take our time with the customer to make sure we explain everything right.
But
they can call out to you and you just give them a quote. So there's no pressure on them. They can decide then, free quote.
Free quote.
Right,
free quote. You're under no obligation.
The number again is 071 91 45 107. That's 071 91 45 107 or 1-800 938 881. Give Jason a call or PowerRite a call. Gerry, I thought it was important that, as you said, particularly with the dark nights coming in, that people are informed that these things are available. Now, it costs a few quid, but as you said, Jason, what price is your security?
What price is your peace of mind as well? Now, you have another thing here as well, secure homes. What's this? You've organised something, isn't it? It's part of the National Day.
It's just a couple of facts, just I suppose point out to customers when it's coming into the winter months. In the winter, burglaries increased by about 25%. It's a lot. And over 40% of burglaries in the winter occur between 5 p.m. and 11 p.m. at night.
This is the time of year to think about these things. Well, maybe a few months ago, but now it's a good time. These are statistics from 2018 bought out from the Gardaí. Right up to date statistics.
It's right up to
5 o'clock and 11 o'clock at night.
5 o'clock and 11 o'clock. And people would think that wouldn't happen. It's not even after 12 o'clock midnight.
Very true, yeah.
And 20% of burglaries enter through an unsecured door or a window. Jewellery or cash are the most common articles stolen during burglaries. And there were over 200 cases where car keys were fished through the letterbox in the past year.
If you had an area, a very remote area, where there might be 3 or 4 or 5 houses in the village, and those 3 or 4 or 5 families came together and said, you know what, none of us have alarms.
Yep.
Maybe we should all go and do this together. And if they spoke to you guys as a group of 4 or 5 people, would you be really interested in giving them a good, decent discount?
Always interested, Gerry. We'd always encourage group discounts for multiple peoples that are getting security into one area.
Might be an idea.
Whether it's down a by road, whether it's in a housing estate. We always look on it. That's what we can do in Powery. We can bespoke. It's not like a company that, you have to go this way and you have to go on that way and we only have this package. We can tailor it to suit any groups, any type of style. And I would encourage that. It's a good question.
Okay, listen, guys, we're going to leave it at that. Jason, thank you very much for taking the time.
You're welcome, Paul. Thank you, and thank your listeners. Thank you, Gerry.
All the services that are available there, a wide range of security systems for both home and business. Something for our listeners to consider, Gerry.
Absolutely. Something to chew on over the night now.
Got to be, and thanks, Jason. Thank you very much.